What is up, guys? Del Boy here. So Mairis Briedis retains his WBC Cruiserweight title and progresses to the next round of a World Boxing Super Series, where he will face Alexander Usyk. He defeated Mike Perez by a unanimous decision. Firstly, this was quite a messy fight. A lot of holding, a lot of mauling, head clash. Wasn't the prettiest fight, and it's the first bad fight we've had in the tournament. So hopefully this is the only bad fight we get, because so far we've been spoilt for good fights and knockouts and things of that nature. So yeah, it wasn't the best fight in the world, but I felt the right man won. I scored it 116 to 110 for Mairis Briedis. The first 4 rounds I felt Perez looked better, actually. I felt he looked more aggressive. He was trying to apply more pressure. Again, the first 4 rounds were close. They could have gone either way, but I just preferred Perez's aggression, to be quite honest. Perez was the guy who was trying to force a fight. However, in the 3rd round, Perez was deducted a point for an accidental head clash. And reason for that is because with the WBC, if you cause an accidental head clash and it cuts your opponent, you then get a point deduction, and that's one of their new rules. I quite like it, to be honest. I think it's a good rule. I don't think some people realise that rule's actually in place, though. But yeah, round 3, Briedis got cut, and after 4 rounds, I had Perez just about up in the fight. I felt he was winning, but after round 4, Perez was complaining about the referee too much, and he just felt a bit, in my opinion. And granted, to me, I felt the referee was poor in this fight. I felt he allowed for far too much holding on Briedis' behalf. But Perez can't rely on a referee. He needs to do more. He needs to be more aggressive, because he was being more aggressive in the first 4, and it was working for him at times. So I don't know why he felt a bit so much after round 4. It was almost like something went off in his head, and he completely lost his composure, Basically, after round 4, to me, Briedis was doing the better work. He was being the better boxer. He was landing the better counter punches. The right uppercut was landing. Lovely counter shot from Briedis. He's got this lovely right uppercut when his opponent's coming in and he's backing up, and he'll land this lovely counter uppercut, which is a great punch. And he was landing that on Perez quite a few times. Also, the right hand down the pipe was landing a few times as well. And Briedis' long-range boxing was better than Mike Perez's. Perez didn't really have any success with his jab after round 4, and he was just being outboxed at that point. One of Mike Perez's or his downfall in this fight was his feet. That's just too slow. If you look at his legs, he's got some big calves. So is that why his feet are so slow? Potentially, he was really slow on his feet. But yeah, after round 4, Briedis just took control at range, boxing well. Again, when it got close, Briedis was holding way too much, and I felt it was getting way too excessive, to be quite honest. Skip forward to round 10. Briedis does get a point deducted, rightly so, but I felt it should have happened earlier, because it was excessive, like I said. But again, even in the round where Briedis got his point deducted, I still gave it a 9-9 round, because Perez just wasn't doing enough. He wasn't doing enough. He should have really put his foot on the gas in that round to try and get a 10-8 round, but he didn't do it. And the last 2 rounds, 11 and 12, Perez was leaving loads of opportunities for Briedis to counter. Briedis was landing some lovely hard right hands, some hard right uppercuts. The jab was getting through a bit more. And overall, Briedis was winning clearly at that point, and the right man won the decision. But I didn't like the holding. I've got to say that I didn't like the holding. I think it was excessive, but and the thing is with Briedis, it's so frustrating because the guy has. You see flashes of real quality. His timing is excellent at times. There's a moment when Perez was coming forward and Briedis backed up against the ropes, and as soon as his back touched the ropes, he landed this lovely counter right uppercut that caught Perez flush. Just things like that. You see flashes of real quality with Mairis Briedis. His timing is really good. Nice right hands, nice uppercut. His jab is good when he uses it, but he didn't use it enough in this fight, in my opinion. But it's a shame with Briedis because I think there's a hell of a lot of talent there, but he just fights a little bit too passive at times in his last 2 fights. I felt he was a little bit like that against Marco Hook. There's a lot of holding in that fight as well. But in my opinion, actually, in the Hook fight, it wasn't really Briedis' fault, to be quite honest. But I just feel in the last 2 fights, Briedis could have let his hands go a little bit more, and he could have perhaps got a stoppage, because there was times in this fight where Perez was caught flush, and you could see his head rock back, and maybe if Briedis followed up on it, he could have got the stoppage. But it wasn't to be. Briedis won this fight clearly. He looked great in glimpses, but he looked a little bit not so great in others. But yeah, overall, he got the job done. He's going through to the next round against Alexander Usyk, and we'll see what happens there. I don't think it's an easy fight for Usyk at all. I think the timing of Briedis will give him trouble. Briedis is quite quick on his feet as well. Briedis is going to give Usyk trouble, but you'd have to make Usyk a big favourite in that fight. But yeah, it is what it is, man. And shout out to the Latvian fans. They made some noise. They supported their guy. Sounded like a great atmosphere. So shout out to the Latvian fans of Mairis Briedis. You support your guy extremely well. So credit to you guys over there. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the fight. Peace.